All right, I want to make a video about my Toro mower. I have a Toro Max mower. I've been enjoying it, and it does help me to cut my lawn faster. That's my whole point. I mean, I don't necessarily enjoy being outside with the bugs and the heat and the humidity here where I live. So I'm not a connoisseur of cutting my grass, as some people are just like get down and measure their grass and look at the tips and are just so involved in their lawn. I am a different individual in a different situation where I'm in a house that I rent. I've been renting long term. I don't have anything invested in my front lawn or the grass. Loosely say grass, but it's mostly probably wild grass and wild weeds, weeds. So I want to come and I just want to cut the grass. I want to keep it from getting super long and looking unsightly. I want to get it done as quickly as I can and get back inside, take a shower, because I get eaten by the bugs just terribly, and I don't want to spend a lot of time outside. The bugs are just really, really bad here. So the quicker I can get the lawn cut and have it look decent and then get back inside, man, I am all about that. So just that little bit out of the way. But I wanted to touch base with you again today. Again, I love my mower, but I just have griped, in the last few videos or, the entry of getting this mower, and I've talked about the handle, and it continues just to be a talked about issue in my videos. So I just want to share something that I think that I've come across, not just mentioning the handle that's really kind of flimsy and flexy. It really twists and wobbles this direction. Plus you get that upwards movement and downward movement. A downward cushion is not that big of a deal. That's what those rubber isolator bumpers are for. But they're a part of the problem too, is in when you have these locked in to their grooves, these smart stow. When you go to lift the back of the mower up, look at all this play that I have in this portion of this mower. It's when I go to pick it up and I'm constantly, this is bouncing around. That's just no bueno to me. I don't like it. I mean, you may not care, or it may not bother a lot of people, but it just is a downside to me, and it may be a downside to specific people that are watching my video. It's just up to you. But there's that. And so where in that I encounter this, I'm not just always pushing, following the mower through my yard. I'm constantly picking up the front. I'm constantly picking up the back. And that's where I get that annoying part where this thing bounces around or moves up and down. And so I'm constantly also, doing things where I have to kind of go up a little walkway, and so I have to pick up the back of the mower. And it's just something that's not that appealing to me. It's not the end of the world for the mower. It still works great. It's still seems to be a high quality mower. I like the personal pace, how that works. I get my lawn cut faster because it's probably a little bit faster than some of my other mowers that I've had. With the adjustment as you push down, the mower speeds up, and so when you push more on the mower, the handle kind of moves down and the mower moves faster. So I do like that. It's a little bulky up top. It's pretty wide, and and it does bounce up if you're mowing up against something, really close up to something. The handle gets in the way. It really would be nice if the top of the handle tapered in and it was much smaller up at the top. That would be a really cool design into that and make that even better. Let me kick on my light. All right, I turned on my light so it maybe make everything a little bit more orange, but we're gonna go with it. But yes, so a little bit more tapered up at the top as it came up, and so you could get up closer to things and not be, banging the upper top of your bars on the wall, and so you could get closer to edges of the house or a fence. But I want to talk to you today about, initially when I got the mower, I removed the rubber bumpers, or the rubber isolator bumpers is what I call them. I add bumper but they're just, I think, called rubber isolators. But I wanted my handle down a little bit more to where it's more around here. Because you have to remember, this has the personal pace on it, and so this rides up higher. So the personal pace rides up about right here, if I'm standing up straight, instead of the lower portion of the bar, which is more lower, obviously, and it rides lower, more towards my waist. But you don't push this or control this with that lower bar. It's almost kind of additionally redundant. You don't grab right there. You grab up here at the top where it has the blade stop handle, and so you're pushing up more about right here. But I wanted to show you what I did initially when I got this mower. I removed my isolator bumpers. We're just going to move this up like this right here. Balance the bar. You're going to get your little socket tool and an extension and the right socket, and just come and take these off. Just remove those. It's really simple to do. And I'm gonna talk to you just shortly about the advantages and what I liked with these being off. You're not going to get the little bit of bump absorption on the bars to get that spongy down feeling, but there is an advantage, and I want to just show you this real quick, which I have seen. Just put your nut and your bolt back, nut and the bolt back on there so you don't lose these, and put them in a safe place. All right, so what I've done now is I've removed the rubber bumpers, the isolator bumpers is what Toro calls them. And now my quick release handles, you have two notches that are right here, two notches that it can move into this little, well, not two notches, but just one oval type notch right here. And so when you insert this, it's going to sit down in its lowest, really the lowest position. So we're going to do that now. And then don't forget to do your other side. So now the handle is sitting down about 5 inches lower than up in the position where it was up right up here. So it sits lower. And I'm going to show you what I have found, why even lowering it helps even more. Okay, so here we go. So with the pull starter, when it's up here, you have to pull up at a higher angle so that you miss all this, and to keep the string in line, kind of how it goes into the mower. When it's lower, it's easier for me to put my hand on this lower bar and pull this, or actually you have to have your hand up here, because if you don't have it up here, your blade stop is not engaged, and it kind of puts the brake on the blade. So you have to be grabbing it up here at the top. Now you can pull it, and it's at a lower angle. I'm 6 foot, so just a little bit of a lower angle helps me to pull start this a little bit easier than having this up here like this. When I pull this up and then I pull, it's at a higher angle, and this is up higher towards my stomach. So it just makes it more difficult to start. So when it's lower, again, I can start this easier. It's much easier for me to start, and I can only imagine that is the same scenario with people that are maybe 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". And again, I'm 6 foot, and I just find it beneficial with me being a semi-tall person. So if I was even less tall, then I would definitely see that as an advantage. And I've had people comment saying my wife can't easily start the mower, or my wife. It just typically is my wife or your partner or whoever, or your younger son or your younger daughter. More difficult to push when it's up a little bit higher, and more difficult to start. So I have found again that it's just easier to start with that being lower. And two, this now is probably about where the lower bar was when it was in the higher position. So this now just fits me a lot better when I push the mower. The downside is when you remove the rubber isolators, and even with the rubber isolators there, you have all this play when the handle goes up. If you go to pick up the rear to move the rear around, or you need to tip the mower and you've got this twisting in the handle and in the push bars, usually I will have to come down here and grab it right here so that it allows me to turn it on its side easier, and I don't get that big twisting up at the top. But that's just an annoying. We shouldn't have to do that. But I generally like it in the absolute lowest position, which means no isolator bumpers are attached. But the downside is you don't have that little bit of that rubbery play when you push down on the bars. You'll just have to decide if that's worth it for you or a deal breaker for you. But I like it in the low position, in the lowest position, and I wish Toro had designed this so that you could put it as low as it is, and it's really right here, kind of like at the point where my belly, I have a belly, kind of goes in a little bit, so it's just perfectly right here instead of up here, down here instead of up here. All right, that's my video. I just wanted to share that. I do like it, and I prefer to mow in that position, but I wish I still could incorporate the rubber isolator bumpers and even put those in a little bit lower position so that I still did have some of that flex. It's a good system, but it just wasn't very well thought out. That's my opinion. If you don't agree or you do agree, it's up to you. But thanks for viewing. Have a great day. Catch me on future videos. All right, bye-bye.